Because if they have double Abrupt Decay, you know. Well, if they have double Abrupt... Excuse me. If they have double Abrupt Decay, they get your Ascendancy regardless. Let's see how the Legacy Similar Limit's coming. We need just 3 more. We might have time for one more, we might have time for one more League match before this pops. We're queued for Legacy with Robopod, which is a Tezzeret deck. Let's play one more League match. That was pretty quick. It's a really fun deck. Is that so, Tommy? Robopod. What do I think about BFZ? I don't really have much of an opinion. I remember the first Zendikar just being so much more exciting. So, it's kind of my opinion. I don't really have one. This is, Mulligan. We're gonna mulligan this. It doesn't have either piece of the combo, and these cantrips are crap. Why are we running these instead? Alright, we want to be able to go off instant speed, that's why. Let's take a 6. This is much better. I'm sure you're wondering why. It has a tapper. It has a land. We're getting a scry off the top. You could even keep the Gataxian on top. Tarngo. Yeah, I was brewing with Crumble. I rebuilt Jeskai Control. It's gonna be down here, actually. Unless it deleted my new build, which... Oh, here we go, Jeskai Control. I was thinking that the new tickets we came into should maybe go towards this deck. I've got a straw poll going out. You guys are hopefully going to help me decide which deck it is that I build. That is a playset of Cryptic. That's one of the major things I'm missing, and the next thing being the 4th Snapcaster. But Cryptic is pretty cheap right now. So, I'll screenshot this. This is one of the decks I'm thinking we might build. I used to play Blue-Eye Red Control and Paper until I sold out. Nodes, you monster! You gotta beat Bogle somehow. Cryptic's about 5 tickets right now, Snaff. 5 to 6 tickets. We just had to be patient. Alright, so he's Infect? No, he's Affinity. Will this hand go off quickly enough? I'm not sure. I hope so. He probably won't interact. I mean, there might be a Galvanic Blast in our future. I'm not going to crack it because we know we're drawing a Gataxian Probe. Flare, Blast, Overseer, and Blink Moth. Drew a Thought Scour. We need to see a second land anyway. I'm tempted to just grab basic island, Thought Scour myself. We have to see a second land. It's just not going to happen if we don't. Drew a Foundry, fantastic. Play it tapped, go. Best case scenario, we see one more land. It can even be the basic plains because we got red here. We do run one basic plains. Plating hands are the fastest things you're gonna see from. This is too slow. This won't likely kill us before we go off. Now we have to keep in mind he has a Gal Blast for the Stitcher. Caryatid's gonna be safer to go off with. Okay, we didn't draw the land. We can just pop off a Whisper. 2, we draw. Yes, Zephyr. That's exactly what this deck is. I think you Glitwish for, well, you're definitely going to play Strand. I mean, he's likely just going to hold up the Galblast for the rest of the match, so what do? You could preemptively wish into the way to get around that, which is, the Hydra form. I like doing that. I like preemptively wishing for Hydra form. What do we need? Green source. We already have white. I could grab Breeding Pool. So white, green. Grab the Hydra form. Because he's gonna kill the Stitcher, and that's what we're planning on. Yeah, Hydra form on the Breeding Pool or Hydra form. Hydra form on Breeding Pool is probably best because it'll pay for green for subsequent wishes. It'll pay for... Oh, wrong deck. You grab the Hydra form there because we know the opponent has removal for the Fate Stitcher. We did just kill a Grishelbrand player last game. You missed it, Zephyr. It was sweet. We did a turn 2. Or a couple times we started going off turn 2. I think we fizzled both times though, but it didn't matter. Because we went off anyway. Noxious Revival hilarious in that matchup, by the way. And we have a playset of Leyline. Hang on. Now that changes things. That changes the clock entirely. This is what we were afraid of. Something like Master. So now we're dead next turn. But we drew land, so maybe? Like, you get basic planes. No, we're dead. We didn't go off quickly enough. Like, you Ascendancy, but then you're dead. Like, we could have still gotten there if he didn't hit a Master. I think we pick him up. I mean, you can play the Ascendancy and you can get the Fate Stitcher into the graveyard, but you can't... you won't have enough mana left over to put the Stitcher into play. It's okay. We get 2 more games against this guy. Just because he's a Galblast version of the deck doesn't mean you run the Ascendancy. The way I like to board against Affinity is very minute. It's pretty much just Dispel. Wisp this guy and try to Fate Stitch. Rufus, that doesn't work. There is no way you get there from that position. You consider Dispel. You consider Shield. He's likely not an Abrupt Decay build, so I actually just prefer the Dispels. If you want to run anything, it's probably Nature's Claim as his removal. Yes, Malana, the reason you play Hydroform is it's wishable. We used to run a Wind Zendikon, I cut them. I just wasn't a fan of it. It's for the wish, you never bring it in. It's a wish target. You can consider the Dispels. If you do, you cut probably a Crimson and probably a Stitcher. Or a Peak. I don't know, Zephyr. It's just what I happen to have lying around, man. There's no real reason. Wear Tear was a better wish target, and I thought about it for a moment. At the time, though, his hand was nothing. It was... Or not that it was nothing, it was stuff that we didn't care about. At the time. which is why I went for the tapper. Overgrown battlements because they don't tap for different colors. No tricks. No. No. You want to be able to tap for all or most of your colors. Okay, so this hand's tempting to keep because this glitters. We're on the play. It has Stitchers. It has a spell to cast once we're going off. I mean, this hand technically has everything you need. It's a little slow. So you go Strand. We're gonna grab a green source. This is that awkward spot that I talked about where Misty is just so much better than Flooded. And why we're thinking about investing in Misties for this deck and maybe a couple Legacy decks that would go in. Now see, this is the kind of start that we're afraid of. Something quick like this. So I can't get the Stomping Ground, so we don't have perfect mana. Like I have to get green here. The only green sources I can get is a Temple or a Breeding Pool. So we're gonna have to work on getting red somehow. Oh, well, that fixed that problem. So green, white, Wish, grab Ascendancy. Or the game will troll me and give me not what I targeted. Okay. Never said Moto was a perfect program. It picked Ritual for us. I didn't click it. It happens occasionally. You don't get frustrated, you just let it go. The card I wanted to pick here, just for everybody's knowledge, was Ascendancy. We do have an Ascendancy in the sideboard. Reimburse time? Nah. You don't get upset, Tommy. I don't get upset. It sucks, but what are you gonna do? We can't even cast this, by the way. You need to have a creature to cast it on. I don't really bother with Moto knows best. Yeah, Moto knew the best card for us to take there, right? Said, you want this, right, Spawn? Right? We're not going to find the combo soon enough. We'll have to naturally find it, which is not likely to happen. Rip it off the top. I'll try. He doesn't have much in hand. Maybe I should have just played the Fountain Tap, because I don't think this has another blue source to fetch. So I can't end step Visions. After this song, I'm going to do a fresh shuffle. It sucks. I mean, we would have been playing Ascendancy this turn. Oh, plating off the top. Yep. Yeah, that's game. Actually, you know what? In fairness, though, this is a faster draw from the Affinity player just because of the presence of plating. We may not have comboed off before he killed us. It would have been really close. It would have been really close. Right, because we would have played Ascendancy this... No, we would have still gotten there. That's really frustrating. Right, because this doesn't kill us. Yeah. We would have barely gotten there. We would have had Ascendancy in play. We would have been able to discard the Stitcher and start comboing off. So just for the record, we would have gotten there against this Affinity player. Because we saw what he drew. He didn't draw interaction. He drew a plating. But you don't get upset. You just move on. Or at least I don't get upset. It sucks that it picked my card for me. What are you gonna do? I die on my own terms. That sucks. We were gonna barely get there. We were gonna go off with 2 life points left. Let's play one more. Or hang on, before we do, let's see how